And
True.
so when we get isolated,
Yeah.
we lose a part of our identity.
Yeah.
We start to turn inward. We start to say, well, what's wrong with me? We start to question God's design for us
Yeah.
because we just we are under that influence of that loneliness
Yeah.
and that isolation.
Yeah.
And so I had to do a lot with my children on my own, not having people into my home. I don't know about you ladies, but I loved it when people came over and surprised me.
True, true.
Because it was like you did the best cleaning in 15 minutes and it took a whole week otherwise to do it. And then all of a sudden you didn't have anybody over for 3 years, so
Yes.
everything kind of built up. And you're like, why is this so grimy?
Right.
And
But now COVID is over. Sorry to cut you in there. COVID is over. It's over. So we're past that. But I know some of us still live with the effects of
Yeah.
COVID, right? Especially when it comes to being isolated. But tell me, now with normal scenario, normal way of living, there's still some mothers who are in communities like this, but they still feel isolated. What do you think they can do
Yeah.
to feel included and to feel that sense of community and that presence? Yeah.
well, I think it's really important that we meet with other moms, that we get together, that we make sure that when we go to the grocery store now, we say hello.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you're picking out bananas, you're like, hey, how's it going? And that little bit of a hello could make someone's day,
True.
you know? And so I guess the remedy that I want to say is that be community.
Yes.
Be
Makes
a
sense.
community.
Yeah.
And don't just isolate on a little island and be your own, think you can do it all on your own.
Mhm.
Because as moms,
Right.
we have that put on us,
Mhm.
but we can't do it all.
True.
Yes.
True.
And so it's
Absolutely.
involving others in our life.
Yeah, so community being a part of a healthy space, because there's different kind of communities, right? Some of them are toxic, but some of them are really nice, and you can actually be yourself. So I like your point, be a part of the community, right? But what of those who cannot function in a community? How do they deal with being isolated? Because it can create a lot of problems, like unhappiness, sorrow, that feeling of I don't belong. What do you think they can do other than just being part of a community?
Well, 20 years ago, we didn't really have this, but now we have online.
Okay.
Where we are able
Great.
to, on Facebook, Instagram, all those different social medias where we can find other moms like us.
Yeah.
And we can sharpen each other, because as iron sharpens iron, so does one man sharpen another.
Yeah.
Yes.
One mom sharpen another.
It makes
Absolutely.
sense.
I agree with you totally.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Thank you so much, Heather. And for some people who, just giving my perspective now on this, I know I can talk forever, but just for people who, who sometimes, they don't even want to come on Zoom, they don't want to be part of a community. To me, isolation is a blessing in disguise. It can be a time for you to kind of rediscover who you are, your identity, your purpose, if you're being led in that direction, okay? So while you can you can feel like you're isolated, but you're never alone. In that place, you can connect with self, and that way you can begin to function in the community with other moms, just like just like you and I. So thank you so much, Heather. I love that point with being in the community, coming out there, and just trying to be nice to people and trying to engage. So thank you so much for that.